Hi, everyone. You can probably tell by my surroundings here that we're not recording and filming this at the House of Al in downtown Victoria. We're out in Sidney, BC. We decided to take the show on the road, no particular reason. We just thought it would be fun. So we're out at Wrecking Crew Studios. Wrecking Crew Studios in Sidney, BC is Western Canada's only bespoke vinyl pressing plant with a fully integrated off-the-floor recording studio. Founded by lifelong musician and former aerospace executive Dave Curtis, the studio has now officially expanded into vinyl record pressing, and in 2025 took delivery of a custom-built vinyl pressing system from Germany. What began as a recording studio near Victoria International Airport has grown into a unique creative hub where artists can write it, record it, press it, and celebrate it, all under one roof. Now, Wrecking Crew Studios is bringing world-class vinyl production to musicians across Western Canada. I'm so happy to introduce my guest and owner of Wrecking Crew Studios, Dave Curtis. Well, thank you, Dave, for letting us come out to your beautiful studio and have a good chat and stuff with you.
My pleasure, Wayne.
Yeah. Now, I've got a few notes. What this area of recording studios and your vinyl press shop downstairs is not my area of expertise, so you're my teacher today, and I'm your student. Hopefully I can keep up.
I'll try and accomplish that.
Okay. So I'm looking forward, in a few minutes, we're going to go downstairs and you're going to show me how you make a vinyl record, which I think is going to be really exciting. It's a good time, too, because as I'm sure you know, that vinyl records are on the upswing now. So it's your timing is good to get into this business, I would think. So
You bet. Well, I mean, Taylor Swift, which is not necessarily my demo, my music genre, but she sold 1.5 million vinyl records last year, and it's not old guys like me that are buying them.
No.
And so vinyl, I think, has, people like that tangible, being able to hold their music.
Yeah.
And then for local artists, it's a great way to, rather than selling T-shirts, you can sell your music.
Yeah.
And people like to be able to take that home. And so it's certainly, I don't need to or want to kill the world in volume with the vinyl. I mean, there's opportunities, but my mission is to support local musicians and do short runs of vinyl records.
Right. That's the other thing I like about your what you're doing here is you'll do small batches. A lot of companies, I'm sure they want order thousands at a time.
Right.
But if you can do small batches, if there's any of you people out there recording and want to get a batch of 300 you do, and even 100?
We'll do 100, they're still pressing Fleetwood Mac Rumors by the bazillion.
Yeah, right.
And Led Zeppelin 3. So, it's little, and indie artists have a hard time getting into those plants to get any attention to their low run stuff. So we do mostly 100. We're doing, 300 seems to also be a sweet spot. But we are doing up to 500 for local artists. That's where I think we will be able to shine and do a really good job. You get into thousands and tens of thousands of records, it's probably better suited for a different plant. Right.
And you're the only person on Vancouver Island that's doing this, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm the only one stupid enough to make that large investment to do it here. But I was born here. I grew up here. My family is here, so it made sense. So we're one of only 4 or 5 in the country.
Right.
There's a plant in Charlottetown, PEI, and couple of big ones in Toronto and one in Calgary. So we're one of a few. But it's a nice little niche.
Sure is, yeah. And the machines that you have downstairs, which we'll go and look at in a minute, are the identical ones that Jack White has at his third world records?
Third man,
yeah.
Yep. So these machines, there's a number of manufacturers around the world. Most of those machines are what are called automatics. So they're robotic. They're meant for volume.
Right.
The machines I ended up acquiring are from New Built Machinery in Germany. And Jack White had acquired 9 sets of them.
Oh, okay.
And they're meant to work in pairs, but they're semi-automatic. So that allows you a high degree of customization. So every record is handled by an operator. But that, while that might sound slow, it allows quality to be maintained as you're pressing them.
Right.
But you can also do really cool stuff by adding colors and doing swirls, and not, no record is identically the same. It's all different. So, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to be, high quality, low production runs, as we've talked about. But, I looked at them all and ended up with the New Builts. And that ended up being the easy part, was actually buying the presses. It's everything else, as you'll see.
I can imagine.
That goes into supporting and running them that is the big deal.
That's right. Well, one day you did show me downstairs, and I was blown away by the amount of machinery involved, and I'm really excited to show our viewers what it's all about. Another thing about records too, we started talking about, the idea of something to hold and stuff, and you can flip it over, see who the musicians are, what studio was done. There's a lot of great things. And like you say, color. And I even heard that Jack White apparently had hidden tracks. You can do that. But he also at some point had a hologram pop up or something. I don't know how in the world you do that.
There are all sorts of wild things you can do. Picture discs.
Yeah.
There's hidden, Monty Python started it with original recording where they had, depending on where you put the needle on the record, there were 2 different recordings.
Oh, really?
So you can cut 2 different tracks. And there's some bands that have done that. And I haven't yet got into those kind of crazy things. I'm still learning how to press a good record.
Yeah, right.
But there's all sorts of stuff that you can do.
Yeah. Fantastic. So how did you make the leap from an aerospace CEO to establishing a vinyl pressing plant and an off-the-floor recording studio? That's quite a leap.
Yeah, I've been a drummer my whole life.
Yes.
So music's always been there.
Yeah.
And then I built this room, the studio, mostly as a jam room for my buddies.
Beautiful room too.
I hate moving gear.
Yeah.
So we've been playing with the same band for 20 years.
Right.
And I always say that after traveling like a madman and working so hard, that I'd come in here to, redeem my capitalist soul and pretend to be a rock and roll drummer.
Right.
And so when I retired in 2021, I went back to school.
Oh, okay.
I took a 2-year program at SAIT to get a digital sound recording diploma. And I was the oldest guy in the class. And but part of that, they talked about the resurgence in vinyl records.
Right.
And then part of the course is you had to write a business plan, which I've kind of done that a few times. And so I thought, well, I'm going to write a business plan to commercialize the studio and add a vinyl record pressing plant.
Right.
And that was just part of the course. It was, a business track in the course. And I did that. And then after I finished, I thought, well, I should probably see if that's a real thing. And so I spent a year traveling the world and going. I probably went through a dozen pressing plants around the world.
Yeah, I know you've been to Amsterdam, Nashville, a few other places. Memphis, yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
Belgium, as you mentioned. The UK, I probably saw 6 or 7 plants in the UK.
Wow, so you've done your homework.
I did, but I still, everybody said it would take longer and cost more. And I thought, well, I'm going to not do that, but I did.
Yeah, right. You thought, well, I'll find a way to do it cheaper.
Yeah, I thought I was smarter, but apparently I'm not.
Yeah, right. So, you've had an interest in music all your life, as you were saying, and drums is your instrument of choice. Was it always just to be a hobby, never a career path?
I don't think I ever thought I was good enough to do it professionally.
Yeah, right.
I'm a four on the floor kind of drummer, and I took lessons with Murray Creed for eons. One of the things is I'm a left-handed drummer, so I set my drum kit up backwards, is what right-hand folks would say.
Well, Ringo Starr is a left-handed drummer as well.
Yeah, but he's forced to play right-handed.
Yeah.
But I learned that you could actually set a kit up for a left-handed drummer, and that's why I do. And that's actually why I have two drum kits on the stage here. Right. One set up left hand and one set up right hand.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Very interesting, yeah. That's fascinating. So if an artist was thinking about pressing their first recording onto vinyl, what's the first thing they should think about before they come here?
Well, of course, pick a great recording studio.
Yeah.
Get the tracks laid down.
Yeah. Now, just to stop there for a minute, your recording studio is referred to as an off-the-floor studio.
Sure.
Where the band sets up, you record the whole band playing at one time, and then you mix it, master it, right,
and then it's ready for pressing,
right.
And so, there are a ton of really great studios in Victoria and Vancouver Island.
There are, yeah.
And so you don't have to record here by any means. I'm happy to press vinyl,
right.
But if you want to, from start to finish, we can do that. The criteria are, you need two sides of a record, maximum sort of 20 minutes a side.
Right.
And you can go a little higher, if it's quieter music, it takes up less real estate.
Yeah, right.
So you can get up to 23 minutes a side.
Okay.
But, and it has to be mastered for vinyl records. There's a special mastering polish that needs to go on vinyl because it's a physical, if you have too much low end, it'll punt the needle right out of the record and skip. So it's mastered specifically for that format.
Do you do that as well?
I don't. I have mastering engineers. There's locally that do vinyl, and I also use a fellow out of Calgary that's done bands like 5440 and others. So, my years, I've been a pilot my whole life and a drummer, so I probably don't have the best ears to do mastering. So it's best left for fresh ears.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got to have good hearing to do that type of thing for sure. So what are the biggest challenges in the vinyl industry right now?
Well, what I've learned, what I was told, and, I thought, I can do better than that. But making a vinyl record is easy. Making a good vinyl record is very hard.
Right.
And it's hard because all of the different variabilities from shop temperature, water temperature, steam, high pressure steam consistency, even the color of the vinyl will react to the different batch of vinyl.
Is that right?
So there's just a ton of variability in getting a good record.
Yeah.
The industry standard is that 20% of what you build is scrap.
Oh, wow.
And that, coming from aerospace, that to me was a huge number. And I thought that I could probably, streamline my process and stabilize it and do better. And we're probably in around 15%. But the reason for that isn't anything that I'm good at. It's, I put in really good support. The steam system is, has more pressure than we need. You need consistent steam pressure through the presses. Yeah. Same with water and water temperature. So I invested heavily in the back shops to make sure that I had all the right things in place to make a good record. But we're still running, 15% of what I build, we scrap. Now, you can recycle that. I don't have the equipment yet. It was $50,000 to regrind regrind it. But thinking about green, I'm using only bio vinyl. So the vinyl that I purchase comes from the Netherlands, and they use recycled cooking oil.
Oh, wow.
And so that's a good start, you know. So, and you're not making a single-use plastic. I mean, these records hang around for a long time.
Yeah, you would hope so. Yeah, you want it to last for a long time.
I have records from when I was a kid. So, you know, there is the opportunity to recycle. I can't do it in the same shop here. You don't want to be creating dust in the same shop that you're pressing vinyl. It's just, they don't go well together.
Yeah, right. So how do you see the vinyl business, record business, going forward into the future years? How do you see that going? Is it something that you think is going to keep growing?
Well, I'm in a different stage of life. You know, I'm happy to be. I don't need to do 10,000 records a month.
Right.
If you know, the business case for vinyl is volume, because of the nature of the investment, and that's not what I need to do. I'm just having fun. Yeah, right. So I don't have any grand ambitions to do anything. I have met so many wonderful people in the music business that's been refreshing. Yeah, right. And even the vinyl manufacturing community is out there. They want to help. Yeah, right. It's not this secret competitive, we won't talk to you. The help that I had a fellow from California come up who runs the same presses as I. He spent like a weekend here, and we pressed vinyl. Wow. And I learned more from him than I did, when I got the training from the manufacturer, because they're running, 10,000 records a month in Pasadena. So anyway, the community's been incredible, and I'm really enjoying listening to all this incredible music that's done locally. Yeah, right. It's fantastic. Yeah, the musical community in Victoria is very tight, I feel, and there's a lot of musicians around. Very good. Some are hobbyists like yourself or whatever, but I think you're going to get a lot of business, so you're doing the right thing, especially if you're not trying to do 10 million of them at a time. Just keep it at a nice pace, pay the bills, have fun, meet some musicians, and on and on. So let's take a minute and go downstairs and take a look at your vinyl press shop, and we'll show our viewers how you make a vinyl record. I'd love to. All right. Let's head down. Thanks. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. I'm at Wrecking Crew Studios with the owner, Dave Curtis. I've been waiting for this moment for a couple of 3 weeks now. Very, very exciting. Dave's going to walk us through how you make a vinyl album from scratch up to the final product. Mostly I'm going to let him do the talking. I might throw in a couple questions here and there, but Dave's recording studio is upstairs, but the main focus of Wrecking Crew Studios is this part of the business. So take it away, Dave. Thanks for having us, too.
Thanks, Wayne. Welcome here.
You bet.
So vinyl record manufacturing is a complicated process in that it's not just plugging in a couple of machines and thinking you can get a good record.
Right.
So what you don't see here is a high pressure steam boiler that came from New York, specifically made for manufacturing. So I need 150 PSI coming through these hoses to heat the molds.
Yeah, that's all in the back room.
All behind us. Yeah. All, you can hear a bit of the whining from some of the equipment. And so the process is PVC comes, it's not, you can't, take plastic from a children's toy.
Right.
It's very special, high temperature, high melting point PVC.
I would think
made for the music industry. Yeah. So we use bio vinyl and black. So this machine produces, the industry calls it a cake. So I put the granulars, the PVC granulars into the hopper, and it produces this. They call it a cake. We're Canadian, so we call this a puck. This is made from biovinyl. It's using recycled cooking oil. Comes from the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
But it also comes in lots of different cool colors.
Right. I saw you had a purple one as well.
Yeah, we've got lots of different colors behind you that we can do. You can mix them. You can do all sorts of really neat stuff with them.
Right.
These particular machines are new built machinery. They come from Germany. As we mentioned before, these come from the same presses that Jack White uses at Third Man Pressing.
Right.
And why did he choose these machines? Because they're manual. You have to load them manually. And what that does is the operator can look at every record that comes out of them, or you're not just kind of setting and walking away.
Right.
So quality is very important. But it also allows you to do some cool things. You can take this red puck and put it in other color PVC before it goes into the machine, and that's how you get splatter effects.
Oh, okay.
You can put different colors into the hopper and get swirl effects. So there's all sorts of really neat things you can do.
Yeah.
So the silver shiny things in here are called stampers, and that's the actual music that gets imprinted onto the vinyl record as it's pressing. So these are 100-ton press. So when they actuate, you get 100 tons of pressure. And as it's pressing, the steam runs through the upper and lower molds. And what that does is help the plastic flow over the stamper to transfer the music that's literally imprinted here onto the PVC.
Right.
And then once that's done, cooling water runs through. The machine switches over to cooling water and sets the record. And then the record comes off of this press and ends up going onto a trimmer over here that trims it to the final size.
That's the trimmer is right here.
Yeah, trimmer is there. And
now, one thing though, how does the music get into the grooves there?
so the traditional way is the music is actually cut using a Neumann lathe. There are other lathes, but Neumann is certainly the best known. There's about 70 of them in the world. And it's a hot diamond stylus that cuts into an acetate. It's like nail polish, but so it's like a disc. It's bigger than a 12-inch record. They're usually 14 inches in diameter. And it gets cut. And then the lacquer gets put into a bath and sprayed with this nickel formula. And that then is metal, and it is the reverse image or negative of the lacquer. And then that's what you use to press into the vinyl. So these are all the grooves of the music.
Yeah. And
it's quite fascinating that that's the way they have manufactured vinyl records forever.
Now, so is this side the A side? This is the B side.
A side is always the top, and B side is the bottom. So when you go to press the record, the first thing you do is put a label, and these are also very special. They come, I have to get them from New York. You don't want to have any moisture in your record label because the heat will cause it to boil and ruin the stamper. So in behind here I have a lab oven that I actually have to preheat these for 24 hours before I can press with them.
Wow.
So the label goes down. This comes out very hot. This is 140 degrees centigrade. That gets placed here, and then you put another label on it, and then you actuate the presses to press it. Now, I'm not going to do that because the presses are cold today. We're not actually making a record, but I'll show you what happens. We'll just put this back over here. So once you've loaded the press, what you do is you can, I'll just get out of the way here, actuate it, make sure your hands are clear, and then they go. So that starts the manufacturing process. So if we were actually running them, the press would now press, you'd hear it go, and 100 tons, and then steam would run through. and that would help the puck flow. And then cold water would help it set. And then the next step is it would come out, and you'd have a record that you pull off of here, and then that goes onto the trimmer for final trim.
Right.
And then you need to stack them on cooling plates for 48 hours. You stack them, make sure they're flat,
Right.
keep them warm,
Right.
and at 24 hours we flip them again.
Oh, wow.
And then that's your final record. But all during the whole process, we're listening to records throughout the manufacturing process to make sure that we're not getting bad records.
Right.
So we listen to them, we look at them under the microscope. We're playing the music while we're pressing.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
So you get the puck out of there, you put it there, it goes into there, comes out,
Yeah.
and you go over there and trim it.
Yeah.
What length of time is that taking to do that? And that's just for one album.
One record. So the cycle time, as they call it, is about 55 seconds in the press.
Oh, that's all.
And then so it's about 90 seconds for the whole process.
Oh, wow.
And you can set up
quicker than I
both
thought.
presses to run the same album, and you're just working both of them. I'm not fast enough yet to handle it. You know, I don't know the age of your viewers, but I love Lucy. I don't know if you ever remember her working at conveyor belt. She gets a little
Bunch
bit
of
behind,
donuts or something.
donuts or whatever,
Yeah, I remember
and it goes, it just goes bad. So right now I'm running one press at a time. So I actually have local artist Blue Jay Freeze on here, and I have Sophistos on there. So
okay.
we're just running two different projects at the same time.
So when you start a project, how many would you press in a day?
You can do 500.
500?
I can do 100. I'm happy to do 100 by myself.
Yeah.
But anything above that, I need help, and I've got some young folks that come and love to do this.
Right.
Because it gets busy, and you want to be listening to a lot of records to make sure you're making good records, because anything can change.
Sure.
And all of a sudden you find that you've got a noisy record, and you need to stop and figure out why.
Yeah.
So 100 I can do comfortably, but anything more than that, I bring in help.
Right. So that's something to keep in mind to the listeners out there. If you're thinking of pressing a vinyl record here, hopefully, with Dave, he does do small batches, so 300, even 100. A lot of places, you really got to put in a huge order and then the time would take longer to get to, the bigger the order, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, once you got the presses running, you tend to run them.
Yeah.
You don't want to be stopping and starting. Every time you start again, you make scrap for a little while until things settle down and you're getting a good record. So you don't want, if we're going to run 500, we would do it in a day.
Oh, okay.
1,000 would be 2 days. But yeah, 100 is kind of the sweet spot for local bands.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Something good to sell in the merch table at your next gig. So if somebody came here and said, here's my music, I want you to press some vinyl album, what's the wait time to get it back in a cover?
It's typically 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8
But
weeks?
most of that time is getting the jackets manufactured and the stampers. And so once it's physically here, we can do it pretty quick.
Yeah. That's quite good, because I remember seeing an interview with Jack White about his factory, and he said it was several months to get the...
Well, you get the bigger factories, they're doing big volume, and I mean, there's some big plants in Toronto. We're doing thousands of records, and for you as an independent smaller artist to get in that queue is hard.
Yeah. So now, if it comes in different colors, you can get that you mentioned. Is it more money for different colors?
It is. I mean, transparents and opaque colors are all a little bit more expensive, but not that much.
Yeah, right.
And then as soon as you get into wanting to do multiple colors, then that starts adding up on the cost of the album.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Now, pressing rooms that do this in Canada, how many did you say there were?
There's 5 plants across the country.
5.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
one in Vancouver and Calgary, a couple in Toronto and Prince Edward Island. I think there's one in Quebec, Drummondville Vinyl.
Right.
Do some neat stuff.
And you're the only one on Vancouver Island.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Amazing. So it would be nice to keep it local if you're thinking of doing vinyl. Having a vinyl album out there, which is fantastic to sell at gigs and stuff like that. Not too many people have CD players anymore, and vinyl sales are going up. It's good for your customers to have something they can hold. So that's fantastic, Dave. Anything else you want to tell us about any of this, or is that?
No, we're learning every time we run the presses.
Sure.
We're learning something new.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'd love to press local.
All right, thank you, Dave. It's been fun hanging out at Wrecking Crew Studios with the studio upstairs we chatted about. We've got the press down here. Fascinating business you've got going here. Wish you nothing but the best. And thank you, everyone out there to watch the program, and keep watching. More episodes on the way, so stay tuned.